Hey, what's good, family? This is Ryan Jackson from Ryan Jackson LLC. Hope you're having a blessed, wonderful day. Hope everything's going well for you. Like I always say, if you're having a tough time or things are not going the way they should for you, always know that tough times don't last, tough people do. Keep your hope and faith and trust in Allah God, and He will see you through. I could definitely bear witness to that. Getting to the topic for this video. So I saw a clip on social media. One of my cousins posted a 10-minute, I think it was a 10-minute clip of Snoop Dogg's new movie, The Underdogs. Came out a week and a half ago. I think it's on Netflix. It's called The Underdogs. It's about Snoop Dogg. He's a former football player, star football player, professional NFL player, a former star NFL player, wide receiver who's washed up. He gets into some trouble with the law, and he's giving community service. So I guess he has to clean up the park, whatever. And he later coaches a youth football team from in his neighborhood, which is Long Beach, which is where he's from. From what I saw the clip, he's coaches a youth football team. The clip that I saw from this movie, like again, it was 10 minutes, but it's not for the kids. No, no, not for the kids. The language that is used in this movie is just it'll make Richard Pryor blush. I'll just put it to you like that. It'll make Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Red Fox be like, look at each other and just roll their eyes. It's that raunchy. Um, there's a 13-year-old boy in the movie. The young man's name is Jonigan Booth. He's 13 years old. In the movie, I think his character's name is Trey. I think that's his character's name. But Tika Sumpter plays his mother in the movie. The movie features Snoop Dogg, Mike Epps, George Lopez, Tika Sumpter, Candy Burris from The Real Housewives of Atlanta, from Escape, that Candy Burris, and somebody else famous. I think that's it. But in any event, this little boy, Jonigan Booth, that's his real name. I think his character's name is Trey in the movie. The stuff that come out this little boy's mouth is it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. He cusses at Snoop. Snoop cusses back at him. They're cussing each other out. The other kids are cussing. Kids, kids are cussing at a 50-something-year-old man, and he's cussing back at them. You little MFers, you little booger nose MFers. That's why I F your mama. I'm not making this up. You can watch the clip. The little boy, you washed up has-been MFer. That's why you picking up dog crap. He didn't say dog crap. He said dog, you know what? Washed up MFer. Sorry, MFer. And if that's not bad enough, if that ain't bad enough, the same little boy is talking about the size of his male anatomy. I'll just put it to you like that. And the lack of Snoop having the size of a male anatomy, the lack of his size male anatomy. I'll just put it to you like that. A little 13-year-old boy now, 13 years old, talking about the size of his junk and about the lack of the lack of size of Snoop's junk. A grown man, a 13-year-old child is saying this. Is this where we are? How is this cute? How is this funny? Where's the humor in this? Richard Pryor did a movie with children, Bustin' Loose. How many of y'all old enough to remember Bustin' Loose? Came out in 1981, 43 years ago. Richard Pryor, Cicely Tyson. About Richard Pryor was got in trouble with the law, was required to drive a bus from Philadelphia to Washington State to take the kids to get them. It was There were troubled youth in the inner city of Philadelphia. He had to drive them from Philly to Washington State to get away from the troubles of Philly. And they were supposed to go to Washington State to stay at Cicely Tyson's uncle and aunt's farm to get them in a better environment, to get them out of better environment. I'm doing good, brother Steph. How you doing, my man? Yeah, your grandma, my grandma and my mama, they would beat the hell out of me for cussing. I'm 50. I'm almost 50 years old. I'm 2 years away from 50. Well, will be in 2 weeks. My birthday's in 2 weeks from today, February 20th. I'm celebrating the whole month. So February 20th, 2 weeks from today is my 48th birthday. I'm 2 years from being 50. I wouldn't say the words that this 13-year-old boy said. I wouldn't say that to my mom. I wouldn't say it to my aunts. I wouldn't speak that way in front of my uncles. And I'm an OG. I definitely wouldn't speak the way in front of my mother and my mother-in-law. Hell, I wouldn't speak the way in front of my wife. This little boy, but in any event, back to but the movie Bustin' Loose. Richard Pryor was raunchy. He was known for his not only his humor, but his raunchiness. And he did not use raunchy language in this movie, Bustin' Loose. I've watched this movie time and time and time again. I've watched it with my parents. A Richard Pryor movie with my parents. And Richard Pryor did not use the language that he used on stage in that movie with children. He did not do it. And this is Richard Pryor. This is Richard Pryor, the greatest comedian ever. Did not use that foul language in front of children in that movie Bustin' Loose. He may have said a few cuss words, but he didn't talk about his junk, and he didn't call the kids little MFers. Oh, that's why I F your mama. He did not say that in that movie. I think that you could count the cuss words that he used in that movie. Did he even use any cuss words in that movie? I don't think he did. But I say all that to say, Richard Pryor didn't do it, but a 13-year-old, a 13-year-old boy cussing at a grown man, and a grown man cussing back at him like they on the street, and then you talking about, oh, the size of my male body part is big. Yours must not be that big. Saying this to Snoop Dogg, a grown man, someone who's supposed to be his coach, his mentor, a teacher, so to speak, an adult that's in a supervisory role. That's how this little boy was speaking to him, and the rest of the children. Not just him, but the rest of the kids were too. But this little boy was the ringleader. It's like, where's this? Where's the humor in this? How is this funny? How is this funny? This isn't cute. I agree. They don't. And why is the little boy speaking this way to a grown man? A little boy, because in one of the scenes in the movie, I don't want to spoil the movie if I don't, but I have to tell the scene. So spoiler alert, spoiler alert. One of the scenes in the movie, Snoop is driving the kids home, was driving the kids home from practice. One of the little boys said, I have to use the bathroom, I can't hold it. And Snoop said, you better hold it. And the little boy John again. I forgot his name. His last name that fast. The little boy in the movie that I had brought up. His character says the reason why you can't hold it is because your thing ain't big. He said this to the other little boy. Your thing ain't big. That's why you can't hold it. People who have big things can hold their pee. This is what this little boy says to this other little his teammate. And so Snoop Dogg gets pissed off and says, "Why don't you little MF start talking about um your your male body part and other stuff and talk about little girls and cartoons?" The little boy Trey, I think that's his name, Trey, he says, "Oh, someone has little, you know what energy, little male body part energy." They use the D word. I'm not going to use it on here. He's saying this to a grown man. This is one of the scenes in the movie. It's on Netflix. It's called The Underdogs. It's not for the children. You cannot, in good consciousness as a parent, you better not watch this movie with your children. You should not. I'll advise you not to watch this movie with your children because it just will enhance bad habits. And our kids do not need any more bad habits. They're already, these schools aren't teaching our kids a damn thing. I touched on that in my last video. They wanna tell little boys that they could be little girls, tell little girls that they could be little boys, and they want to tell their students. The teachers are given the right, are given the green light to tell their students that they have a right to change their gender without their parents' consent. I'm not making this up. The schools, the law have given them the green light to tell little boys that they could be little girls, to tell little girls that they could be little boys. I am not making this up. So, do our kids need any more bad habits? Because you think they will pick up something in school and learn something, but they're not. They're not learning a damn thing in these schools. What, pronouns? To be politically correct, which is incorrectness? How is that helping our children? They're not learning about Elijah, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the messenger. They're not learning about Marcus Garvey. They're not learning about Booker T. Washington. They're not learning about the real Harriet Tubman. They're not learning about Nat Turner, Toussaint Louverture, the Black Panthers, the Nation of Islam, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. They're not learning about none of great black people. Great black people. Great black people. They're not learning mathematics. They're not learning how to form a sentence. Form a sentence using commas, semicolons, periods, quotation marks. Do these kids even know how to write a letter? Granted, we don't write letters anymore, but you can write letters online. I wrote a letter to the mayor of Chicago, Mayor Brandon Johnson. I wrote it on Friday. I didn't use any ebonics. I didn't use misquotation. I didn't misspell any words. I proofread my letter to the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson. Do these children know how to write letters now? Granted, we don't write it. We don't put pen to paper. Do they know how to start out a letter? Dear such and such, To whom it may concern, such and such, and do they know how to end it with a salutation? Um, Thankfully or respectfully, yours truly, whatever. Do they know how to end a letter? They don't even write in cursive, for God's sakes. What are they learning in these schools? But it's a movie on here where a little boy is cussing at an adult, a grown man. That's in a supervisory role. That's in a yeah, a role as a supervisionary role. Thank you. Supervisionary role. Coach of a football team. You cussing at your coach? I would not dare. I was scared to roll my eyes at my middle school basketball coach, Coach Royce. He didn't play. Coach Royce did not play. He was a former Marine and a Detroit police officer. That man did not play. I believe he was a detective on the Detroit Police Department in the Detroit Police Department. I believe he was a detective, but he was a former Marine and he had this. He did what he said went, and that man put the fear of God in you if you screwed up. He did not play. I remember. I remember the best player on our team. He got on him and he chuckled. He and shrugged his shoulders. Why did he do that? And this was the best player on our team, our leading scorer. He did not care if you was the best player or if you was the player on the bench who barely got in games. He held us all to a standard. He reamed him out something serious. And all he did was chuckle and kind of shrugged his shoulders because he screwed up a play in practice. And guess what? We all paid the price for him doing that. Not only did he ream him out, but he made us all pay the price for him doing that. You did not dare roll your eyes at him. You did not dare talk back to him. Yes, sir, I understand, sir. Yes, coach, I understand, coach. Either that. The assistant coaches, they didn't play either. They did not play either. They did not play. And they held us accountable. They did not play. You would not dare. You hear me? Cuss at them. You'd have been off the team and suspended from school. And your parents would have been notified, and that would have been life as you know, and it would have ended because parents back then did not play. And this was the late 80s. They need to bring that back. I was just flabbergasted to see that this little boy was speaking this way to Snoop, his coach. I was even more flabbergasted to see that Snoop was speaking this way to his team, calling them little MFers, you little B words, saying this to little kids, to the youth. You're supposed to set an example. You don't talk that way to children. Yes, I've had coaches cuss at me, not call me a little MF, but say, damn it, Jackson, damn it, what the hell, what the F? This was in high school. Got cussed at a lot in the military. They actually called me MFer and the B word, but that was when I was grown. That wasn't when I was in school. Told the teacher to shut up. Oh man. Oh yeah, these kids do it all the time. My wife's a principal. They tell the teacher to shut up and to shut the hell up, to shut the F up, to go to hell. to F off. They sure do. And they still in class. It's hard to suspend a student now. Hard to. It's an act of it's almost an act of Congress. Hold on one second. It's hard now these days because these schools, these kids got more power. They got more juice now than the teachers. And then the parents don't correct their kids' behavior, so the kids even more emboldened now to act a damn fool than ever before. If the parents don't correct them at home, then far be it for the teacher to correct them at school. But then you want the teacher to be a miracle worker and to help your kid, your snot-nosed brat of a child, who has a snot-nosed brat as a parent, who was a snot-nosed brat as a child too. You want the teacher to be a miracle worker and help your son or daughter get good grades, pass, to bring the best out of them. When they sit up there cussing them out, and you allowing it, you're not correcting their behavior. Make it make sense. But then you got movies like the Underdogs, and Snoop is supposed to be. He wants to coach youth, wants to be a difference in their lives by putting out a movie like that. That garbage. This movie, The Underdogs, is complete garbage. At the end of the, I'm not going to tell you, but just the movie is it's complete utter garbage. If I had to rate it, I would give it two thumbs down, all the way down. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it a negative 15. It's not even on the scale. That's how bad it is. It's in the negatives. You have a grown man, 50 something years old, 51-year-old grown man, 52-year-old man, 52. That's how old Snoop is. 5 years older than I am. 52-year-old man cussing at children, and the children cussing back at him. And then they talking about a little boy talking about my man size is bigger than yours. Yours must not be that big. A little boy. Where is this cute? And then Mike Epps is cussing at him too. But I don't hold Snoop or Mike Epps in high regard. I don't. I have low expectations of them because any man that will bring out black women on dog leashes. Snoop did this back in 2003. I believe it was at the Grammys. Was it the Grammys? It was some award show, but you can look it up. Any man that bring out black women on a dog leash on stage gets no respect from me. Gets no respect from me. I have low expectations of Snoop Dogg and Mike Epps. Low expectations. So with low expectations, sometimes you get low you get juvenile behavior. You supposed to set an example for the children, and you sit up there cussing at them, talking about you had sex with a mama. Am I okay with it? What if it was a white dog with a white woman? If it was a white dog with a white woman, what are you talking about? You okay with the white woman on the leash? I'm not okay with any woman on the leash. I'm not okay with any woman on the leash. But let me be very clear. Let me be very clear on this hip hop history. Very clear. I'm talking about a black man disrespecting a black woman. It has nothing to do with a white man doing it to a white woman. This was about, I wasn't even thinking about race. I was talking about what Snoop Dogg did to a black woman. I never said I'll be okay with with the white man doing that to a white woman. That didn't even cross my mind. I was talking about Snoop and what he did to a black woman. So stay focused. Stay focused. Stop making it about this black versus white shit. Let's just stay focused. Moving on. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Oh, so yeah, it's juvenile behavior because you have, a 50 something year old man, and going back and forth with little children. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, he may have hired an actress to do it, but why do that? It's still disrespectful. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to her. It's disrespectful for her to even put herself in that position to get the money. Is what would you do for a Klondike bar? You got to have some respect for yourself. You can't do all money is not good money. No matter if she was an actress, all money is not good money. You got to have some respect for yourself. And I'm not going to go back and forth with this because it takes me away from what I was doing. So we just have to agree to disagree without being disagreeable. If you don't like what I say, fine. You don't have to stay here. You don't have to be here. If you want to be here, be respectful. Now we're going to agree to disagree without being disagreeable. I'm not going to go do this back and forth with you, whoever you are. Hip hop history. So yeah, it's you're supposed to be better. You're supposed to be the adult. But again, Snoop, Mike Epps, they're not being adults, they're being juvenile. And you could tell in this movie. And the kids are channeling the same energy and they going back and forth with them. So bad look. We don't need movies like this. We don't need movies like this. It's just terrible. So, check it out if you want to. I'm not going to check it out. I saw that 10-minute clip. That's all it was for me. Just like, oh no, oh hell no, hell no. But what do you expect from a person like Snoop Dogg and Mike Epps? Not good. Our young people need good examples. They need people like Dr. Boyce Watkins, Dr. Claude Anderson, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the brothers and sisters in the Nation of Islam, black men in the neighborhood who are taking care of their families, doing everything they can for their families, strong black fathers. That's what they need. These are the role models they need. All this cussing back and forth is not cute. I saw a video on X that a woman posted of a cussing challenge that she let her little boy, who's about 5 or 6 years old, let him close the door, let him cuss for about a few seconds, let it get it all out, let him cuss in a room by himself. And she said, she said, this is the only time you can do this. You understand? Yeah, I understand. How many times we told our parents we understood something and we did it again? That's not going to be that little boy's only time that he cusses. He's going to cuss at his mother. He's going to cuss at other adults. Now that he has got it out of his system, he's going to do it again. But we don't see the big picture because it's him getting it out, his frustration. We have got to do better, y'all. We have got to do better. I just was so flabbergasted to see this little boy, the stuff coming out of this little boy's mouth in that clip that I saw of the underdogs. The stuff coming out of this little boy's mouth. It was ridiculous. But you gotta look at the parents too. You allow your son to take a role like this. You allowed your son to take a role like this. You had to sign off for it. Again, what would you do for a Klondike bar? All money ain't good money. On that note, hit the thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications on the new videos on here. On that note, I'm gonna hop off of here. Y'all be safe, beware, and be aware. Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy. He's busier now more than ever before. So, brothers as well as sisters, y'all be safe. Be safe, be safe. Continue to support my YouTube channel and my podcast. Be greatly appreciated. I can't do this without y'all love and support. So please, 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 please support me. On that note, y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. I love y'all and I'm out. Peace. Assalamu alaikum.